Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we are looking at an announcement from March 2026 that is, honestly, an absolute game changer for platform engineering teams. If you guys have been constantly juggling different infrastructure as code tools and just wishing you could bring the whole shebang under one roof without a massive headache, well, this is exactly what you've been waiting for.
Right off the bat, let's dive into this massive problem solver. What if you could upgrade your legacy infrastructure without the nightmare of rewriting a single line of HCL? I mean, for years, platform engineers have been stuck between a rock and a hard place. You either stay stuck in the past with a legacy setup, or you literally pause all feature development to pull off a massive, incredibly risky code migration. But today, we're unpacking a brand new feature that lets you totally bypass that rewrite. You basically grant your existing setup cutting-edge cloud capabilities instantly.
So here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll talk about the infrastructure migration trap. Second, unifying your cloud state. Third, supercharging legacy Terraform. And finally, seamless integration and migration. Let's get into it.
Part 1. The infrastructure migration trap and the somewhat painful reality of legacy IAC.
Now, this brilliantly illustrates the trap I think pretty much everyone falls into. In a dream scenario, sure, you adopt a powerful new tool, you start completely from scratch, everything's clean, fast, and happy. But the harsh reality? Most of us hit a huge roadblock. You're sitting on literally years of legacy Terraform deployments, usually spread out across multiple siloed teams. You just can't tell the business, hey, we're pausing everything to migrate years of code overnight. It's just not going to happen. So innovation stalls out, and you're stuck managing a fractured system. Moving into part 2, unifying your cloud state. Think of this as a brand new home for your Terraform. Here is the big reveal, the fundamental shift that fixes this whole trap. Now in public preview, Pulumi Cloud can actually serve as your Terraform state backend. This is a massive paradigm shift. Just by changing where your state files live over to Pulumi Cloud, your team gets to keep using the exact same Terraform or OpenTofu CLI they already use every day. Your developers don't have to learn a new language, your pipelines don't randomly break, but your capabilities, they instantly leap forward. Okay, so what does this actually give you? The crucial point is that this one single backend shift instantly unlocks enterprise-grade features for your legacy code. Let's walk through it. First off, you get fully encrypted state with an update history, meaning yes, instant rollbacks, and no more stressing over vulnerable S3 buckets. Next up, native automatic state locking. Goodbye, messy DynamoDB workarounds. You also get robust role-based access control to enforce strict policies across all your stocks. You gain unified resource visibility, which is so cool, we'll look at it in a second. And finally, audit policies. You can literally run pre-built compliance packs like SIS or PCI right against your existing Terraform managed stacks. So let's zoom in on that unified resource visibility because it is a total game changer for platform teams. By pointing your state to Pulumi Cloud, your Terraform managed resources pop up directly alongside your Pulumi managed resources in Resource Search. They just use a simple Pulumi Terraform naming convention. Behind the scenes, Pulumi is doing a best effort schema mapping, which means you finally get a true single pane of glass. You can search, filter, and audit all your existing Terraform resources using the exact same attribute names you already know. Part 3, supercharging legacy Terraform, or as I like to think of it, meeting your new AI infrastructure agent. What's genuinely wild about this backend upgrade is that it acts as a gateway to the absolute future of cloud management. Meet Neo. Neo is Pulumi's AI-powered infrastructure engineering agent. And by bringing your Terraform state into Pulumi Cloud, Neo can suddenly reason about your Terraform resources exactly the same way it does for native Pulumi stacks. It's revolutionary. Platform engineers now have a single, unified, AI-powered control plane across their entire infrastructure estate. It completely bridges that gap between legacy code and modern capabilities. So what does this look like for you on a random Tuesday? Well, with Neo hooked into your legacy state, the capabilities are pretty staggering. You can just ask Neo to find resources across both tools simultaneously. It can easily trace complex dependencies that span entirely different stacks and environments. If something breaks, Neo can troubleshoot configuration issues for you right on the fly. And get this, it can even generate brand new infrastructure code pull requests that are fully informed by the context of your existing resources. Neo essentially becomes this expert team member who understands your whole architecture, totally regardless of which IAC tool actually deployed it. Bringing us to our final section, Part 4, Seamless Integration and Migration, Zero Code Rewrites.
Let's look at how this actually works under the hood, because the mechanics here are what make it so approachable. This quote from the announcement really just hits the nail on the head. Platform engineering teams now have a way to unify state management without rewriting a single line of HCL. Pulumi Cloud natively implements the Terraform Remote Backend API, meaning you literally don't touch your existing Terraform code. No translating resource blocks, no rewriting modules. You literally just point your backend configuration at a new target, and everything else keeps functioning exactly as it did, just with a massive upgrade in features.
And the integration is just incredibly natural. Your standard Terraform concepts translate seamlessly over to Pulumi. So a Terraform workspace, which usually uses a project and stack naming convention, translates directly into a Pulumi stack. For example, if you've got a workspace named Networking Prod, that automatically spins up a stack named Prod inside the networking project in Pulumi. Plus, your Terraform root module outputs map right to Pulumi stack outputs. This is great because it lets you seamlessly share foundational legacy infrastructure, like, say, VPC IDs or DNS zones, directly with your newer Pulumi stacks using Pulumi ESC. They just talk to each other flawlessly.
Now, if you're sweating a little bit thinking about a long, drawn-out migration process, don't. The entire migration is literally just 4 precise steps. Step 1, back up your existing state. Whether it's sitting in an S3 bucket, Google Cloud Storage, or HTTP Terraform, just back it up. Step 2, update the backend remote block in your Terraform configuration file to point to Pulumi Cloud. Step 3, set your API token variable in your environment. And step 4, simply run Terraform init-migrate state. That's it. The entire switch from a legacy state backend to a fully AI-powered unified control plane takes a matter of minutes.
Oh, and a quick administrative note for everyone planning this out: billing is completely unified as well. Each Terraform resource stored and tracked in Pulumi Cloud simply counts as a resource under management. It gets treated exactly the same as a native Pulumi managed resource. So your billing stays super straightforward, totally transparent, and unified under a single metric, no matter how many different tools are actually spinning up your infrastructure.
Which brings us to the very end of our explainer and leaves us with this final thought. By completely removing the friction of the migration trap and instantly granting your legacy code modern, enterprise features without any rewrites, the roadblocks to innovation are pretty much gone. With your entire infrastructure unified under one single AI-powered control plane, the only real question left is, what are you going to build next? Thank you so much for joining me today, and I really hope this unified approach helps your team build faster and smarter.